Gweganawagerono, and welcome to another episode of Straight Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Stock Sr., and we have...
Christine Taylor.
Ross Montour.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I guess it depends on the time of day that you're watching this.
Mm-hmm.
We turn the clocks back, or ahead, right?
No, ahead.
We turned them ahead.
Spring forward.
Did it affect you any?
Yeah, it still is. I'm waking up at I'm waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, even though I'm supposed to be waking up at 7. So it just kind of throws me off that whole hour.
Maybe the first day, but I tend to take those things in stride.
Do you also check your batteries and your smoke detectors
Yes,
when you do
I
it?
do. Yeah, my 9-volt
Do
batteries.
you know what we're talking about? No.
Smoke detectors.
Twice a year, they
Yeah,
say
I know.
that you
I
should
know.
change
Do have
it.
to say
You should
that,
change
yeah.
the batteries, yeah.
Okay, side, yeah, you do that.
Especially with the tragedy we had,
Yeah, recently.
about a fire, so it's good to make
And there's
sure
been a
that
lot
you
of
check.
that in surrounding areas as well. And then they were saying that the fires and the loss of life is due to them not having fire smoke alarms, but also having them and not having the batteries.
Yeah, a lot of people take them out. I know that growing up sometimes, I mean, it's part of your house, but I mean, you have it in there, but then it's a pain in the ass and it keeps going off, so you take it out and you just never put it back in.
Yeah, they can be.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. But aren't there some that are less sensitive?
Yeah, it all depends on, like now, I mean, even then, I think it depends on where the smoke detector is. If it's near a kitchen, it should be a heat detector and not a smoke detector. It's, so they're made for
especially the way I
specifically-
cook.
They're made specifically
I wasn't
for
going to
certain
say
areas.
about that. Depends on who's cooking. But I can't point fingers.
But even then, sometimes that doesn't even. I don't know. For some reason, they're not as sensitive. But anyway, the whole idea, I guess, is to make sure that you check them, and if you haven't checked them, change the batteries.
Yeah.
Now, on the positive side, longer days. 6 o'clock, the sunlight was out yesterday.
I enjoy that.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
People are back walking in the street. In spite of, I knew that big dump we got like a week ago. This is toast. They can be around long. It was a mess. And
caused a
down
lot
in New
of-
Jersey,
It
the
caused a
same
lot of, because it was like a
storm,
big
floods.
sponge that fell, a big wet sponge
Yeah.
that fell because, and I noticed that a lot of community buildings as well as a lot of private homes were flooded in a
Well-
weird way because of like I said, the snow became slush and retained all that water, and then water does weird things, and it goes in. It found different ways to get into
And there were
homes and
issues
cracks.
apparently with not the culverts, but there's the storm drains
Yes.
as well too.
Yeah, well, because everything's still frozen. The ground is still frozen.
Yeah.
So
Somebody
lot
said
it had nowhere to go.
There was
I
a lot
thought
of
that's what they
flooding.
put the curbs in for, but that doesn't
Doesn't
solve
stop the
everything.
snow. Yeah,
Doesn't solve
You have to
everything.
make sure that they're clear. So if
Yeah.
you had one by your house, it would be good to clear it to make sure that the water
Yeah.
at least has a place to
Yeah,
flow.
but the spring is on the way, so that's a nice thing.
Yeah. So
I didn't really
the
want
water-
winter, but it's
So yeah, they had a flood warning. So now that it's there, so
Check your sump pumps.
that's water under the bridge. Speaking about bridges, there was a community meeting last night that again, I guess got a little heated in regards to the bridge issue. So
Well, the community meeting, yeah, it got heated there, but apparently it's well, it's not apparent. We know this. It's across the community.
yeah,
The council is issuing statements about clarification, so on and so forth, about what they are and what they aren't doing, and meaning of what's been happening with Quebec in terms of the legislation and certification by Ganawagi jurisdiction. And then you have the 207 weighing in on it. They sent a letter out, which is out there now.
through Charest for in regards to.
And then there was a
the
letter in
law.
the Eastern Door 2 weeks ago by a community member who was questioning that. So people are questioning what's going on, what's happening with that whole process, and there's a high level of discomfort. with
And you
regard
know-
to
And
that.
what is the basic issue?
Well, right now, look at the whole thing on the phase two. As I understand it, it comes down to the question at Quebec. Look, Quebec was it Jacques Cartier, whatever the corporation is that owns the bridge in partnership with the province or the feds?
Oh, it would be Transport Quebec along with.
Yeah,
No, well, it's
yeah.
the- it's
Well,
the
it was
Bridge
a-
Corporation.
That was a whole thing over
Yeah.
the years, like a hot potato in a sense. But anyways, the certification of jobs, and of course, there's a whole issue with the union that came up over the last 2 years, and jobs on the bridge, which brings up issues about the contractor. But now, what we're talking, it's R20 is it R20?
Yeah.
R20, which is the provincial legislation over certification for construction, the construction
Construction in
industry.
general, yeah.
Now, the Mohawk Council says its position is that it has been negotiating with the province about this and the jurisdiction of certification in Kahnawake. But even so, with that, there's all the controversy from within. There are people who are saying that's bringing in the provincial jurisdiction. I see that side of the view too, is
Right.
basically what you're saying is if you have the qualifications that would be respected out there, you have a union book, you have a union card, and you have this and that, then you will automatically get one of these things. So there are people who are saying, yeah, but you're doing that, but that you're kind of acquiescing, you're giving away all these other trades which you don't certify. But I mean, traditionally, I mean, the bulk of the construction work population in Kahnawake are not, they're not masons, they're not carpenters, they're not, whatever those trades are.
I mean, certified or licensed. in-
Yeah, which under
Or
Quebec law,
unionized, yeah, in Quebec.
they have to be certified to provincial standards. So some people are saying, people are gonna lose the jobs over that. And then there's the ongoing battle internally, which is about, related to the contractors, and how jobs are being, and that whole business about.
That and the fair
It's
wage,
a mess.
the fair wage agreement and everything else, and it's, it's hard to decipher because, I spoke to a lot of, a few of the guys on that are, I guess, have an issue in regards to the union side, and I understand their position. I work mostly just union. I never worked non-union doing iron work, so I don't know like the other side of that. But then when I speak to the NBC guys or the guys that are working on the bridge now, they both have valid points. But I don't know, to be fair, I don't know all the underlying things because they're both saying two different things. And I don't know how they can be that far off. Whereas one, it becomes a money issue in regards to a fair wage or paying a fair wage, and on the other side it becomes a jurisdictional thing or a union issue, and then it becomes a taxing issue. And we've asked, other than NBC when they first started all this, I think maybe a year ago when a lot of this started to heat up, they came on and they explained some of the things, and then the union guys didn't agree with that, but we're still waiting for the union representatives to come on to speak about their side of it. And again, we'd still like to have somebody representing the men for NBC and to see how it is, because I talked to one of the guys the other day, yesterday actually, and he was telling me that this is how much he wasn't sure. What happens if that does come in effect? Does he have to pay tax, or will he have to pay tax?
Yeah,
he doesn't know, and he's working there.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. There's information that's not getting out somewhere. It seems like on both sides. I don't know what it is. There's no meeting of the minds anyway, and it's
The other thing, one
it's
of
a
the other
difficult
things,
situation.
while we have a little bit of time, is that a lot of this goes back, the Order in Council of, it's like 1934 or something like that. It doesn't speak to union qualification, doesn't speak to any kind of certification. It only speaks to the preference to any work done on the bridge being given to the workers of Kahnawake. It doesn't say the iron workers, it doesn't say carpenters, it doesn't say any of that stuff.
Anything-
It
any
says
trade in particular.
Any work on there. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have people who know what they're doing on there, okay?
And that's
So
that's
it
basically what it comes down to a lot, is with this new, I guess the qualifications committee that they have to try to do. Anyway, we'll discuss a little bit more about that, but we
Right.
have to take a quick break, and we'll do that right after these messages.